What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR Network today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Shout out to Michelle O'Neill for the request. We're getting into it here, okay? It's the 23rd, and you did ask politely. Thank you. It is the 23rd of April. We have about 4 days and 8 hours left. 4 days, 7.5 hours left, something like that, yeah. Consolidating here at $0.0387. Looking at the weekly RSI, we have bounced right off of the 50 area. That's nice to see after finding resistance here before, resistance here before, resistance here before. Finding support now is a good thing. We've got here a low in the RSI, a lower low, and all you have is higher lows coming up. So that's hidden bullish divergence. It looks really damn good. I think that's a very nice look right now, especially bouncing off the 50 on the weekly RSI with that bullish engulfing candle, massive pump, 32% in a week. We're looking for more. That was cute. You know, I say massive, but really that's a cute little pump. This thing's got massive pumps ahead, right? You're going to see weeks where you move up, maybe not 252%, maybe, I don't know, but I'm thinking more so on the lines of like 100%, 80%, you know, stuff like that. It's coming. You've got bigger moves ahead is what I'm trying to say over the coming weeks, the coming months, right? If we're looking at this here from the relative high in this nice little double bottom pattern, right? You've got this big U, you've got another smaller U here, you've got this little W shape. From this high, from this point where you broke out from, if we take a relative high to low fib, you can see you went all the way up to your 1886, came down, found support in a rather obscure area actually, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if I like this fib. You're not really respecting it too much. I mean, there's areas where you are, but I don't know if I like this fib. I don't know. You didn't even respect the 1886. You're not respecting the 1272 for low. So maybe we don't look at that one then. Maybe we don't. You respected it coming up. You did respect it coming up, but up until you topped off, then you kind of stopped respecting it. So maybe it's actually not worth using. Let's use, and I mean maybe you respect it going forward. Maybe we do find resistance at other areas, but this might be more helpful. Taking the high from October in 2021 to the low here in October of 2023, if I can get it. Yeah, the 886, the money zone. I really could see us stopping here. Maybe this fib is useful for just the reference of the money zone here at the 4.5 cent to 3.3 cent area, something like that could be where we go. Okay, it's not totally forsaken, but I don't like it, at least relatively speaking, because I mean here, I guess we're finding support at the 1272. That's nice. That's nice too. So that's okay. I don't know. It's not the most perfect thing. Fibs aren't always perfect, but this is definitely some ugly respect there. If we're looking at the relative low to high here, you went just below your 382, perfect. You closed right below your 382, closed right back above it. This is a very indicative sign that you have found your low and that you're probably going higher. So I do think that you're going to go higher. From here, I don't think that you're going to go lower than that, right? You're going to take out this high. And the areas that we're looking for, relatively speaking, if we're looking at this from a relative high, I'm going to take this low, not the fake out scam wick low on February 3rd here. I'm going to take this high to low here. I think that your next targets are at about 00535 to 005,785, somewhere up here in the golden ratio zone. Yeah, area that you closed at for resistance, you wicked at for resistance. Of course, you could go higher, but it wouldn't surprise me if you were there, if not by the end of April, sometime very, very early May, right? XPR is on its way to higher prices. I think that it's got good things coming its way. You are, if it wasn't for this fake out scare on the 3rd, you kind of are in this massive looking bull flag pattern almost. And if you were to behave as such, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you were to behave as such, I think that this would be an appropriate measure move. And that takes you all the way up to about 1.8 cents. Now, this doesn't mean that this is where you stop. That's not where your next move is going to end, but it might be where you like abruptly break out to, kind of consolidate, and then you have your next little move up to top off and then consolidate from there, something like that. Kind of like here's an abrupt move up, consolidated, and then boom, you had your finish. The finish might be a smaller move. The initial abrupt move might be a bigger move, but tomato, whatever it is, I believe that XPR is on its way to higher targets. I think that we are on the way to about 1.8 cents to about 5 cents, probably just below 5 cents, and honestly probably even above 3 cents is what my expectations are. But from here, the minimum expectation would be something on the lines of about a I don't know, what is that? That's about a 5x. Just under a 5x. The maximum expectation that I have is like 4.5 cents, so that's at about an 11x from here. Very solid potential. And the thing is, with a coin like XPR, you look at XPR here, you've got $105 million market cap. There's a lot of potential to grow, right? You could see this thing do a 10x, a 20x, a 30x. It could happen by the end of this next move, and then you're worth several $billion in market cap. That's not a small feat. It's not a small accomplishment to ask for, but it's very attainable. There are plenty of cryptos in the top 100 that are at $3 billion or more by the end of June. Whenever everything's pumping and everything's at its relative highs, there will be plenty of cryptos in the top 200 that have those kind of market caps or more. So this thing could definitely climb its way up the rankings, and I think that it will. I like the weekly RSI, 3-day RSI. Let's look at that here. Looking pretty good, honestly. Bouncing off the 50 is nice. Bouncing off the 40, getting above the 50, finding support at the 50. Nice. All good things, my friends. Yes. Looking at the daily time frame. Consolidating above the 50. Yeah, okay, nice. You've got higher lows and a flat top. You guys, wow, I wish I started with this. This is actually kind of exciting. You really are. I think it's just a matter of it's a very short amount of time. You're about to break out, guys. You really are. You're about to move up to about half a cent here or higher. I bet you do. You move all the way up here somewhere around what is that on the relative fibs from a high to a low? I wish I started with this. Yeah, you're going up here. 0.00535 to 0.005785. You're going to go up to here. I think I said that earlier, but maybe I'm just like getting more excited about it now. I think it's happening. You'll be there by the end of this month, man. You're going to be there over the next week. So you got XPR's got a like anything from a 40 to a 60% pump on the way, cooking right now. It wouldn't surprise me if by the end of today you started seeing some life, or even going into tomorrow and the next days. Like this thing is about to break, you guys. It literally is about to move up to the upside. No doubt in my head about that at all. Yeah, the 4-hour looks bullish. The daily looks primed and ready. All you got to do is get overbought, man. That's cool. I got nothing else to say. I think I've said everything that I need to say. XPR has a lot of potential beyond just a 10, a 20, a 30x move by the end of June. We could see crazy things, guys. We could see a 100x. We could see a multi-100x by the end of the cycle for this thing by the end of the year. When I say multi-100x, I mean like this thing could see a 500x. It really could. The market caps that start off this low and then grow. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The coins that grow multi-100x's oftentimes start at market caps this low. That's what I was trying to say. I just had the words jumbled up together there. So this thing has a lot of potential from here. It's genuinely about to break out. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if I had any sense of urgency at all, I would be like out of 10, I would be like 10 out of 10 urgent right now, guys. This thing is about to break out to the upside. Literally, I think we're less than a day away from seeing this thing break out, if not over the coming days, over the next 3 days. But it's if on the urgency scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the most urgent, we're at over a 9, right? If we're not at a 10, we're at a 9.5. It's very urgent, very pressing. We're about to see this rip to the upside, and I very much believe that the next stopping point would be an area that you've stopped at before. Prior areas of resistance here, maybe on a closing basis resistance there, but tomato, potato, half a cent, a little bit just below 0.006, something around there. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Pump is coming. Pump is on its way. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.